Hello again. They tell you that you learn something new every day. Well, I guess during these few weeks where we've been self-isolating and social distancing, I've learned a few things, and I'd like to just run through a couple of them to start with. Firstly, I've discovered you don't need a dog to go for a walk on your own. Sometimes I used to feel self-conscious about going for a walk on my own because, old guy walking alone, what are people going to think? But now everybody's doing it, so it's okay. Also, I've learned that sometimes being antisocial is a good thing. Sometimes when I'm out walking, I'll say hello to people as we pass. Sometimes they'll say hello back, sometimes they won't. Maybe they're afraid of getting too close, and at the moment that can be a good thing. I've also discovered, actually, we don't need half as much as we think we do. When we have to live on the bare necessities, we find that we can. But I've also discovered that necessary is an abstract concept. It seems to mean different things to different people. What is a necessary journey? Well, that's for each of us to sort out for ourselves, I guess. I've also discovered there's still times when there's nothing on the telly. Maybe you found that too, despite all the things like Netflix, Prime, and the Disney Plus channel. Still times when you can't find anything you particularly want to see that suits the mood. On an ecological point, I've discovered that this world can cope actually without our help or interference. Somebody told me recently, she sort of feels like when her mum used to say, "Go to your room because I've got to clear up this mess that you've made." And she sort of feels maybe that's the world telling us, "Go to your room while I clear up this mess." Pollution has gone right down. The hole in the ozone layer is getting smaller. Life is returning, wildlife and plants are starting to grow again, all without our interference. I've discovered that sometimes families are composed of nice people. I've discovered that as a nation, we're actually quite good at stepping up in a crisis. And maybe this should have been the first thing actually that I've learned. I've learned that God is still in control, no matter what we say or think. There's a verse in the book of Romans chapter 8, verse 28, and it says, "We know that for those who love God, all things work together for good, for those who are called according to his purpose." As a Christian, I believe that. I believe that everything is working out for our good. That doesn't mean that life's going to be comfortable and lovely all the time. There's a little line from the film, the exotic Indian hotel where old people were going there on holiday, and the manager said these words, "Everything will be all right in the end. And if it's not all right now, it's because it's not the end." A man called A.W. Tozer, he said these words, "What then are we to do about our problems? We must learn to live with them. Until such time as God delivers us from them, we must pray for grace to endure without murmuring. Problems patiently endured will work for our spiritual perfecting." He's talking to Christians here. "They harm us only when we resist them or endure them unwillingly." That was A.W. Tozer. Finally, if you don't mind, I'd like to just read a little psalm. It's Psalm 121, a song of ascents. "I lift my eyes to the mountains. Where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. He will not let your foot slip. He who watches over you will not slumber. Indeed, He who watches over Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord watches over you. The Lord is your shade and your right hand. The sun will not harm you by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord will keep you from all harm. He will watch over your life. The Lord will watch over your coming and going, both now and forevermore. May God bless you during this time of social isolation, of hardship, and maybe fear and anxiety. But believe, please, that God is with you and God is still in control. Thank you.